Hey soul family, welcome back to the channel. This is the White Feather Tarot, and in today's reading we are doing advice on your current situation. And to do this reading we will be picking three piles. I feel this one, three piles together, this one. So 1, 2 and 3. Let's take that one and see what the piles have for today's reading. Right, so for pile number 1, you have Mercury. Oh, sorry. There we go. For pile number 2, you have the Blue Temple. And for pile number 3, you have Saturn. Very interesting cards for today's reading. If you like to pick with crystals, let me add these right now. There we go. So for pile number 1, you have the Bloodstone point. For pile number 2, you have the Sodalite point. And for pile number 3, you have the White Howlite point. So take a look at which one of these 3 crystals or 3 piles you're the most drawn to, and that will be the pile for you here today. If you feel drawn to more than one pile, or maybe all of the piles, I highly recommend you check them out as well. Because if your intuition is guiding you to just one pile, then it is your magic that knows the way. It will then be that one pile that it's guiding you towards. But if you're drawn to more than one pile, or maybe all of the piles, perhaps you listen to more advice that is important for you to hear at this point of time. And once you choose your piles, you'll find your timestamps down in the description box. Click on your times and I'll see you in your reading. But if you need more time to take a closer look at your piles or your crystals, take as much time as you need. Pause the video, and once you're ready, I'll see you in your reading. Hey soul family, welcome to your shuffling and pile preparation process. As always, it is so lovely to have you here as we prepare for your piles. And today we're taking a look at your advice on your current situation. To do this reading, these are the decks that we will be using. On the left are the oracle decks, and on the right are the tarot decks. And as usual, if you are interested in any of the decks that I use, wow, thanks. Do note that I always leave them down in the description box for you guys to check them out whenever you feel called to any deck. Okay, so let's ask, what is your advice, thank you, on your current situation? What is your advice on your current situation? So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's pretty much the same, I guess. Yeah. Okay. So 1, oh, which one? Let's go again. 2, oh, and 3. All right. So let's now pick up your tarot cards. That's right. 1, 2, and 3. One. We'll be taking 2 cards from each deck. 1 and 2. Okay. What is your advice? And this one moved on your current situation. 1, 2, and 3. Oi, 1. That was easy. 2 and 3. 1, actually 2 and 3. Okay. So our 3 piles for today's reading are now ready. Let's now put them together and see what this is all about. That's pile number 1. There. Pile number 1. With the red bloodstone. Pile number 2. Let's adjust these first, because the cards are different sizes today, all over. And so I think adjusting them first before we take the bigger card, the main card, would be best. Yeah, that saved more time for sure. So that's pile number 2. With the Sodalite point. And pile number 3. I think actually what's best is putting it last. And that's what Saturn does. It teaches us great lessons for things to move smoother in life. Okay, so that will be the white Howlite pile. All right, so my dear soul family, your 3 piles for today's reading are now ready. Thank you so much for spending this beautiful time with me. I always tell you, it's one of my favorite times during the reading. It's so serene. It allows me to free my mind. It's calming. It's so in the moment. I love it, and I love sharing it with you guys. And speaking of which, I love you guys very much. You are one of my biggest blessings in life. Having a beautiful soul family like you guys to connect with every day is something that I'm constantly grateful for every single day. Thank you for being here, and thank you for being part of this beautiful soul family and for making it so beautiful. Thank you, and let's get straight into your reading. Hi, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. You have chosen the beautiful Bloodstone point, as well as the card Mercury. Let's see how this fits into your reading today. as we're taking a look at what is your advice on your current situation. And to do that, we'll be starting off with your oracle cards first. So, right off the bat, we have sadness. Okay? You have the 9th moon mansion with picture. This moon mansion is ruled by Pluto and Neptune in Cancer. Okay, I'm starting to understand at least how you feel, especially with this 9th moon mansion. Hold it off until I see the rest of your cards. Ooh, okay, so you have the opossum and peony with bashfulness. Sorry, there. I have this idea that you're sad over a communication that did not go so well. Maybe over communication that went terribly wrong with a rude person, someone who maybe tried to bully you or tried to express themselves in a way that is disrespectful, whether they're right or wrong. And I feel like there was a lot of misunderstanding, especially that Neptune in Cancer is present. Pluto shows that it was powerful. Neptune shows that there is, Neptune, there is illusions and imagination. So perhaps a misunderstanding due to somebody's wrong idea, maybe about your intention, or wrong idea about the whole situation. Yeah, there's certainly an idea here of some sort of communication that did not go right, that made you pretty sad. Oh, rooster. I mean, that couldn't be a coincidence. Rooster would give me the idea that this is a loud person because of all the alertness that we get from the rooster. And here we have an arrogant, boastful person you should not cross. So maybe even this person may not have totally come from the right place. Even if they're right, they could be wrong. Probably for most of you, it doesn't come from the right place. But even if it does come from the right place, it looks like to me that this person is a bit egoistical in nature and is speaking with a lot of pride and a lot of anger in a manner that they shouldn't be speaking with. Okay, let's explore more here. You have the Empress, and look at that. Oh, this is important to you. I'm very sorry about that, because you have the Empress here and you have the figure of the Death card in the Empress card. So something that was supposed to be nurturing perhaps has been discussed in a bad way that is ending something. I don't know. There is a combination between someone who you maybe have had an idea about them being nurturing, kind, good, but they showed a very ugly side in this communication. Maybe they shocked you. It was the end of this niceness. Or they just brought out to you this new side to them. I don't know. This certainly shows some sort of shock that happened here. Because having this appearing in the Empress, again, I'm emphasizing, it looks like you were expecting something, expecting kindness, expecting nurturing, expecting support. And you saw the opposite of that. You have the Seven of Pentacles, but this is the scene of the Seven of Swords. Okay, interesting. Okay. You have the Ten of Pentacles. Sorry, there we go. Right? You have the Six of Wands. Wow, powerful energy. You have the Judgment card. Lovely. Okay. The Four of Wands. That's nice. And you have, wow. And you have the Six of Pentacles with compromise. So right off the bat, I do see that your reading is not telling you to necessarily stop talking to this person or that you won't be speaking to this person. Look here, there is a lot of pinky fingers involved. Do you see that? Whoa. Here, I see another pinky finger. So this reading is not telling you, in fact, that... So this reading is not saying that you should avoid this person or let them go. It's more talking about dealing with each other in a better way. With the pinky finger, it reminds me of a pinky promise. So here, in that case, I don't think the reading is showing that this is an evil person per se. Maybe this was a bad situation in which they brought out their bad side or their shadow side. And so here I see the idea of collaboration for the good of both of you, so that your communication the next time is better, way better for both sides' benefits. And I do see, having these two cards in conjunction to the Ten of Pentacles, it shows that keeping your word to each other on how to communicate to each other the next time will reap out wonderful results for the both of you with the Ten of Pentacles. So yeah, here I see with the Judgment card to rise above the way you have communicated, or to rise above the way you communicate, or the way this specific argument, by discussing how to speak to each other in a much better way the next time, so that your communication reaps the benefits that both of you need. In fact, with the Six of Wands, this is a card of success and victory. So although the situation looks very sad at the moment, there's a lot of shock and it is powerful energy, I do see keeping your word to each other on how to maneuver, with the Seven of Swords in the background here, maneuver around your needs and communication in a better way, will help you grow a much fruitful connection with the Seven of Pentacles. Will help you grow a much fruitful connection that will be victorious for all parties involved. Judgment shows shows growth. Judgment shows rising, growing, and as you grow, things become better. And look at that. We see the throat chakra here, speaking in a matter that sounds good to the ear. So there's an emphasis here. Whereas with the rooster, there's alarm, waking up. I don't want to say annoying, but of course it's not annoying, but I mean energetically, if we were going to read it in the pile today, it would be a wake-up call that is loud, that is helping you realize the importance of kinder communication. And here, this would say, it is not about what is being said, it is about how it's presented. Because otherwise, with Neptune and Cancer, you can get lost in all of these emotions and illusions, and things can get much bigger and out of hand than it was ever meant to be, making what was important lost in translation, and then you start arguing over other things that weren't important in the first place. And so the success comes from teamwork and not each party giving their backs to the other, only focusing on their emotions. It is only when both of you embrace what is important to you and to the other person, and through this mature, kind talk, you resolve the issues and the dynamics so that the next time you communicate, you remember your rules, or not the rules, the promises you gave to each other, the kind promises you gave to each other. This way, the next time you communicate, you would say, remember when you promised you would just tell me things in a kinder way, like you can say whatever you want, just in a kinder, calm way. Remember when we agreed you would give me the chance to express how I see it as well without interrupting me. You know, a bunch of, or a couple of simple rules here, as I can see in your reading, will help you be very victorious. And the way you say things in helping you grow as a teamwork, this connection, and it will generally help you have a wonderful bond together that both of you will enjoy very much later on. You know, instead of each one thinking, what's in it for me, for example, it's both of you working as a team against challenges and not against each other. It's like you're always a team working against the goal, and it's about figuring out what that goal is and how you can both make sure that all of these goals pertaining to both of you are achieved. Another advice that I'm seeing here, by the way, with the peonies, see, peonies, they have thick petals, reminding me of thick skin. That does not mean to lose your boundaries and not to take this person seriously. Not at all. I think what this is trying to say is to, of course, set your boundaries, make the promises and everything, but to not let things hit you as hard internally, not to take it to heart. Do you see that blank face on this figure's card? Sorry. There. She's giving us, what is it called? A dead stare. This kind of shows me with the peonies and this dead stare is to not to react when this person is being bashful or is going out of control. Because this way, you make them lose control. When someone, you know, I just heard, I cannot remember this expert's name. It was a writer. Let me check his name for you. Okay, so his name is Gabor Mate. He was talking about, he has very interesting books. And he was saying that no adult reacts in a way, gets into a tantrum. It is only the behavior of children. And I remember the host was asking him, but are you sure about that? I've seen other adults who get into a tantrum. And he was saying these are not adults. They have the bodies of adults, but they are still children. They're dealing with one thing or the other that they still need to heal, because an adult is able to express themselves in a strong way without having to get into a tantrum. And so here, do know that as this person is bashing out, that they're not coming from a strong place at all. Obviously here, they need to heal something. And so for this reason, do not take it to heart. Set your boundaries in a very strong way. But the first step is to not react to the tantrum, because this is their coping mechanism to make things that are out of their control happen. And if they use this strategy on someone and it's not working, they'll have to think of another way. In fact, it will be much easier for them to consider sticking to their promises instead of resorting easily to a tantrum. And so not reacting and showing them that shouting is not going to do anything. And to do that, you must not take it to heart. Remain calm at all times. I believe this is the advice that I'm seeing here, so that this person resorts less to this way of doing things and more to having a healthier, mature relationship with you. This way, your relationship and your communication develops and becomes something that both of you will enjoy very much. Whether this is your partner, your manager, your best friend, it is definitely someone key in your life. It may even be like a co-worker or a supplier, someone who's doing marketing for you. It could be your child or a parent. In all cases, this is obviously an important connection that's going to grow into something wonderful. So be patient and don't react is exactly what I see. And my dear pile number 1, this was your reading. I truly hope you've enjoyed it. And if you have, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. And please don't forget to check out my 2 productivity books. They are there to help you out. The Productivity Handbook teaches you how to become a productive person right away as soon as you finish reading the ebook, which is very small, by the way, but it's full packed with techniques on how to work in a brilliant way. Sorry, I want to say it will open your mind to brilliant ways of approaching productivity and becoming productive. It will help you tackle even the most intimidating tasks. It will help give you a healthy mindset to approaching productivity. Because as I always say, productivity is a journey that is meant to be enjoyable and not a journey that you suffer through. Otherwise, you're just going to drop it. And if you're interested in checking it out, you'll find a link to it down in the description box. There's also an audiobook if you love listening to your books. And while you're there, you might want to also check out the Productivity e-cookbook, which has also been done with passion. I've partnered with a nutritionist that I really love and believe in to bring out to you 210 recipes that are healthy, delicious, and are cooked in a matter of minutes, giving you the rest of the day to do what is important for you. If you're vegan, there is a vegan version. If not, you can even make use of both ebooks. This way you'll have a plethora of healthy and delicious meals to choose from for the rest of your life. And also, if you're interested in checking it out, you'll find a link to it down in the description box. And my dear pile number 1, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye! Hi, pile number 2, welcome to your reading. You have chosen the beautiful Sodalite point, as well as your card, the Blue Temple. Let's see how this fits into your reading. And today we're taking a look at an advice that is meant to reach you right now, or advice on your current situation. Okay, so let's take a closer look at your oracle cards. So you have fear. Okay. You have the 6th moon mansion, bridge. This moon mansion is ruled by Mercury and Venus in Gemini. Okay, all right. You have the badger and ginkgo, healing wounds. Okay. I still am not sure what the message is exactly. Let's take a look at the rest of your cards. Heart, love, deep affection, and caring. All right. Let's take a look at your tarot cards. So you have the Fool, and we see the Hierophant standing on the cliff in place of the Fool, holding, of course, their, I forgot what it's called. It's their scepter and the keys. You have the Queen of Swords, and we have the Justice card sitting in place of the Queen of Swords. You have the King of Swords. Interesting, this combination, the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords here. You have strength. I think this is a major deal here. This is an advice on a major thing in your life. It's not a small situation. We see a lot of major arcana already, the Fool and the Strength card, and then 2 court cards. I'm seeing that you could be afraid of something huge happening in your life at the moment. It's not a small issue at all. You have the Empress, the Page of Swords. Look at them, both with the same gesture. It's interesting. Wow. And we do see counterparts here. We keep seeing figures kind of having the same gestures all over your reading. Isn't that interesting? Okay, I'll keep them here. And you have, the 7 of Swords with politics. My God, your reading is looking so interesting. What is going on here? I mean, the first impression that I'm getting, that's like, I know it's not for everyone, but is there someone mimicking you in your life that are quite sneaky? Maybe they're jealous. That's one impression that I'm getting. Also, the color blue and the color black is very strong in your reading. Let me take now a closer look at your reading and see what this is all about. Okay, I've had a significant time trying to look at your cards and see what it's trying to say. It's one of the very few times that I look at a spread for a while, clueless of what it's trying to say. But I've now clearly put the picture together. Here, I see that your heart is torn between 2 things. I see in your reading duality. There's no doubt about that. And the fear of losing one thing or the other is the issue that you're going through at the moment. With all of the blues, they remind me of sadness. Also, they remind me of imagination. I kind of feel you're at a loss at the moment, in a risky situation. And the reason the Fool themselves is not here is because you're not looking forward to leaving any of the 2 and begin anew, even with one without the other. I see that your actual fear is losing one of the 2 things. And hence, you have the bridge, the 6th moon mansion. This is an advice telling you that you don't have to lose one thing or the other. There is certainly a way in which you can bridge these 2 things that are important to your heart together. Although you might feel with the 7 of Swords that they are tricky, maybe some of you may think it's not right or something, or you have to hide something, or not hide. Maybe you think you are going to be seen as dishonest, or you feel guilty about something. I don't see here with the Justice card that either that it's not wrong. Either the Justice card here is showing us that this is actually not wrong, or it's here inviting you to do it in a way that is right. Obviously here, this is not talking about a relationship of combining 2 people, because that will not be honest in that case. I think this is not about combining people, obviously, although these figures are here to show symbolically having your heart pulled towards 2 things. These 2 things are equally important to you. You know, it's like, for example, family and career, or pursuing what you want but sticking to your values. It's going to differ between one person and the other listening to this pile. But at the end of the day, there's great fear of losing one over the other. Both of them seem to be very important in your life at this point of time. And for this reason, you may feel a little bit stuck. And you see the Hierophant holding the 2 keys, showing that you can start anew with these 2 things connecting in your life and not being separate. In all cases, there is something that needs to heal, that needs most of your focus and thinking before you are able to bridge these 2 things together. And I'll give you some examples. Please take them as they resonate. Examples here could be, maybe you have a new partner in your life and this new partner is important to you. You really love them. But at the same time, you still have a child that means the world to you. And you don't know how to bring these 2 together. Another thing could be maybe you're trying to please your parents who want you to be with a certain type of person or people, but your heart is somewhere else with another person. And like I mentioned in the beginning, they don't have to be people at all. Maybe you're a lawyer, but at the same time, you have great passion about being a chef as well. And then one last thing, it could be you wanting to move from one important area of your life safely to another important area in your life without losing anything. In all cases, I see your advice today is you can definitely keep these 2 things in your life so long as you think about things clearly. Because, I don't know, with the blue here, I feel there's a lot of lostness, perhaps out of guilt or out of feeling like you may be focused on how tricky the situation is or how bad you feel about it, rather than thinking about it cerebrally. And I generally feel an air of lostness, especially as I personally was taking a look at your pile. I was like, what is the pile trying to say? And it's really rare, and it took me a long time to reflect and think until I got it. And I feel this happened for me so that I can deliver your message in the way you're meant to hear it, as I've experienced your energy. And I see that you are advised to think deeply and as long as you need until you find a solution to gap these 2 situations together. Your advice is that you certainly can, through commitment with the Hierophant here and through thinking justly, thinking without emotions, without fear and without favorism and without guilt, none of that. The King of Swords and the Queen of Swords, especially the Justice, is involved. There are 3 cards all about do what's right, do what's right, do what's right. Think about things clearly and do the right thing. You may feel lost thinking about it in the beginning, especially that this blue card in the King of Swords reflects the blue energy that we've seen in the beginning. Break this blueness or break this lostness through consistent thinking. And you will see that thinking will create momentum where it's kind of like the machine will start running and you will get great ideas or you'll get clarity on exactly what to do to bridge these 2 together. Because these balls, they remind me of I don't remember what it's called, the physics experiment where it keeps going over and over and over. It doesn't stop. And so it reminds me of momentum as you continue to think. Just make sure you're thinking without fear, because fear will push you in one direction and not the other. It won't allow you to think that you can actually do it. Don't think with favorism. Don't think in terms of having to choose. Think with clarity. If I were to keep these two things together in my life, what is right for me to do in order to make that happen? Don't give up too quickly. Don't think that anything is going to stand in your way. Do yourself the favor of thinking from another perspective. If these two things were to be combined together, what would it take, just for the sake of thought, for these two things to be combined safely in my life? Think curiously, without any type of limitation, and you will see that your thoughts, your just and right thoughts, will be the key to freeing yourself from this situation. You see the whale heels, the strength card is being represented by a whale, and it shows that a whale was stuck. A whale is a huge creature, massive, and it shows a lot of strength. This symbolizes your capability of taking yourself out of this situation, not having to choose one thing over the other, which could be fueled by the thoughts of your fears or guilt or limitation of the mind, having to think that maybe you should just pick one or the other. With the whale here, it shows that you're more than capable of having these two things in your life, and one day these two things are going to be combined, they're going to be yours, and you might smile back in retrospect at yourself and at how you were going to settle and just pick one and leave the other, when you're really meant to have both. Don't let your thoughts veer you astray, take you off course from that thought, trail of thought. And from that perspective, think without fear, what can I do to keep these two important things in my life? And finally, I'm seeing two observations. First, I'm seeing the number 6 twice. 6, and these are 6 balls. And I'm seeing 6, 7, and 8. Perhaps this is talking about things progressing throughout the months of June, July, August. Also, with the justice figure, as I was looking at the justice figure, I heard in my mind, make something official or legal to put you in a stronger position. I don't know who this resonates with, but I feel like it's important for me to say the things that I'm seeing, even if I don't totally understand it, because I know at the end of the day, my job is to deliver the message. Maybe there is something within your situation that you can make legal or official. Maybe if you are like employed and you have a side hustle to have papers for it. I don't know. But at the end of the day, this is a message certainly for someone. Or appoint a lawyer. That could be another thing. In all cases, my dear pile number 2, your message is clear. Don't settle. Just like the emphasis on the eyes here, we need 2 pair of eyes. You know, can we see with one? Yes, but you were created with 2 for a reason. And just like this example here, I see that you are meant to have these 2 things for a reason. Don't settle, they are yours. Just take the time to think about how you can bridge them and bring them together. And my dear pile number 2, this is exactly what I see as your advice on your current situation. I truly hope you've enjoyed this reading, and if you have, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. And please don't forget to check out my 2 productivity books. My dear pile number 2, they are there to help you out in your journey of manifesting your dreams and the things that you want. The Productivity Handbook teaches you how to become a productive person right away, all while enjoying this journey, because as I always say, productivity is not meant to be suffered through. Otherwise, you'll drop it. It's truly a journey that you're meant to enjoy. You'll find in this ebook a lot of techniques that will help you approach productivity in a smart way and not in a rough, tough way. And if you're interested in checking it out, you'll find the link to this ebook down in the description box. There's also an audiobook. And while you're there, you may also want to check out the Productivity e-cookbook. I promise you're going to love this cookbook. I've partnered with a nutritionist that I really love and believe in to bring out to you 210 recipes that are healthy, delicious, and are cooked in a matter of minutes, giving you the rest of the day to do what is important for you. If you're vegan, I got you. There is a vegan version. And if not, you can definitely make use of both ebooks. This way, you'll have a plethora of healthy and delicious meals to choose from that are cooked in a matter of minutes, perhaps for the rest of your life. And if you're interested in checking it out, you'll find the link to this ebook as well down in the description box. And my dear pal number 2, I know I have seen your energy. It may not be easy at all. I felt your lostness throughout it. Believe me, I had to pause the reading and look at your cards clearly. Take as much time in order to figure it out. And so I believe this is mimicking the advice that I'm supposed to give to you. Take as much time and you will find a way to take yourself out of the situation and keep both things. And my dear pal number 2, thank you for tuning in, and I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. You have chosen the beautiful white Howlite point as well as Saturn. So let's see how this fits into your reading. And as you know, today we're taking a look at an advice on your current situation. So let's see what this is all about and what your advice is. Right, so you have surrender. Okay, there. It's interesting how you have a combination of Saturn, which clearly shows me that you are at the moment going through a very difficult challenge, yet the first advice that we're seeing is to surrender. Let's see what's up with that. So you have the 15th moon mansion with bouquet. This moon mansion is ruled by Venus and Uranus in Cancer. And a lot of you guys have been asking me recently, why do I put stickers on the cards? These are due to new YouTube rules that we have to adhere to. A lot of my videos were striked, and they are new rules that are going to be applied on all channels. It's just slowly taking its way there. Okay, so you have the ladybug and sweet pea with happiness. That's so nice. These two look like rather positive cards. And you have mule. Someone is extremely stubborn and unwilling to change. And it's interesting how we have surrendering in conjunction to some energy being stubborn. Let's take a look at your tarot cards so that we have a full picture of the situation. You have the moon. You have the 7 of cups. They are in the place of the 7 of wands. This is the scene of the 7 of wands. 7 of wands is a card of overcoming challenges, which is something that we've seen here. And the 7 of cups, however, which is the main card here, that's like having big dreams, almost to a point where it feels like fantasy. Also, the moon card here has the devil card crawling. So let's see what this is all about. You have the King of Pentacles. The Magician. We'll explore all of these energies in a second. You have the 8 of Cups. Interesting. The 3 of Pentacles. And last but not least, you have the Knight of Swords with fighting. Certainly, the energy of the challenge is very present in your reading. And I can tell you that I truly can see how much you have to endure and go through in order to overcome these challenges, that they feel like things aren't moving, although you're putting in all of your effort. And it's really becoming I don't want to say silly, but it's becoming like you may be giving up hope a little bit because you're putting in all of that energy and it just gets more complicated as you try. And so perhaps you're thinking with the devil here in the moon, if you can't see ahead and all you can see is that things are getting worse as you try, in your head you must be thinking, well then, why should I be putting in that effort then? In that case, I really see that your biggest advice, and see, these are the positive cards here, in order to find your happiness and resolve this whole situation, is to surrender. Don't go against this tough energy, but let it flow. There is an analogy to this, which I'll get to in a second as I complete what I mean by the advice. So surrender does not mean to not continue to try and do what is necessary to get to the other side and get what you want. Surrender is talking about your emotions, because the more negative energy you're going to feel, frustration and anger, the more it will weaken you. And so it may look on the outside that you're trying your best to go to fight it, but in reality, you may be weakening yourself without realizing. An example to this is the analogy that I wanted to tell you about. Like if you hear of a storm coming or a tornado coming, what would be the natural thing for you to think about first? And of course, this is an analogy. Please don't use this example in real life. What you would naturally do is run away so that you get away from the tornado as much as possible. There is this analogy that I've read recently, and I don't know, of course, if this really actually happens in real life or not. Maybe it does, but what I read was the cow would run away from the tornado, and thus the tornado catching up with it and taking it away, flying it off. Whereas the buffalo, as soon as they know or sense or understand that a tornado is coming, they run through it to get to the other side and save themselves. So it's about facing it, facing the situation, facing it boldly, but not letting low frequency emotions stand in your way, because you wouldn't have these types of emotions, strong, bold emotions, and the right type of thought to get through it if you're overcome with fear or anger or limitations. And so by surrendering to the energy, first by accepting that it's there, and being calm and okay when you try things out and they don't work, to rather collect feedback and say, okay, fine, that didn't work. We'll take a rest and we'll try again. And to take it patiently. With that type of energy, this calm energy, you will experience the opposite with the magician here, where things with frustration, when you were frustrated, things would move slowly. Here, taking things calmly, you'll see that you're able to manifest and move to the other side and win over this energy, and even achieve bigger things on the other side than what you have thought. And so your biggest advice here is to take this energy calmly. It's not about not doing anything at all, as I mentioned. It's about experiencing it calmly. And that's really the energy of Saturn in general. Like I always say, Saturn has a bad reputation. It's not here to make our lives harder. It's not here to give us the dark night of the soul. At the end of the day, Saturn is an energy that allows you to reach your optimum heights, get in touch with your dreams, do the things that you've never imagined, that your heart is yearning for, by pushing you to go through what you would never have wanted to go through, simply because you may be afraid, or that you have a limiting belief, or that you have one thing or the other to grow in order to get to the other side and experience these very dreams. So at the end of the day, it is there for you, this energy, to help you get to the other side. And although it may seem very dark at the moment and challenging, where you don't know how it's going to end up, pushing you to have thoughts with the devil here. In the darkness, the devil is scary, or any shadow looks like a scary figure. And that's because with uncertainty, the loudness of our fears and these intrusive thoughts that make us think that things aren't going to work fine, these voices or these sounds are the loudest. But it is also the most critical time that is needed in your life to calm these emotions down and to think with a lot of strength and hope. This way, you'll certainly be able to think with clarity, and try it out. Every time you are in a critical situation, you're not able to answer, you're not able to think of things. You literally think that things are absolutely impossible, not only until you calm down, that you actually find brilliant solutions. And so the situation may be very difficult on you at the moment, but it is an energy that is pushing you and trying to push you in a direction that you will love in the end. And so go through it with a lot of calmness and tranquility and a lot of acceptance that this is happening now. That's the situation now. So instead of suffering through it, it's about taking it easy and thinking, how can I make use of this situation? What is it trying to teach me? And how can I calmly take myself out of it completely? Because there's certainly a way out. Look at you here. You are a winner. This is the scene of the Seven of Wands. And instead of these cups, the scene would have wands. And they always show the figure of the Seven of Wands on a higher plateau, symbolizing that although there may be many challenges, you are at a great advantage and you can overcome these challenges. And so choose your best option, go with it, and you will see that what used to be challenges will all turn out to be blessings. You will live in the land of blessings, my dear pile number 3. With the challenges that you're going through right now, it's taking you somewhere amazing that you're not going to believe. It's going to really shock you. And so to reach this happy place on the other side, from the darkness to the light, walk away from these, put behind you these intrusive thoughts, these emotions of worry, and start instead focusing on plans and what to do next calmly. And you will see that you will not only reach your destination and be in a powerful position, but you will see that the energy is going to flow super easy. Remember, as within, so without. And this is the energy of the magician. As within, so without. As above, so below. And my dear pile number 3, do know that this is the end of your situation. We have the Death Reaper knife. I don't know what it's called. The synth, I forgot. So we see here, obviously, that there is an end to this situation. You're not going to suffer for long. On the other side, I see a lot of happiness. I see a lot of great luck. And if you would think in retrospect, you would always say, yes, I would go through this and get that big dream that I always wanted. Please go through it and go through it without stress, without experiencing stress and without experiencing fear. And always remind yourself, it is going to be okay. It's going to be okay for me. On the other side, this is Saturn energy, which shows that on the other side are amazing things waiting for me to take one step after the other. every single day until I pass this storm and get to the other side. Blessings are waiting for you to take them and claim them as yours. And my dear pile number 3, this was your reading. I truly hope you've enjoyed it. And if you have, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. And please don't forget to check out my 2 productivity books. They are there to help you out. Perhaps if you have to endure through productivity, this book will make it easy for you. It's meant to help you manifest and achieve your dreams in the most easiest way possible. It teaches you how to become a productive person right away, all while enjoying the journey. It's full of techniques on how to work through productivity in a smart way and not necessarily in a hard way. And it teaches you the healthy mindset to productivity, because productivity is a long journey. It's a journey that you're meant to enjoy and not suffer through. Otherwise, you're just going to drop it. It's really about learning how to do it. And if you're interested in checking it out, you'll find a link to it down in the description box. There's also an audiobook if you love listening to your books. And while you're there, you might also want to check out the Productivity e-Cookbook, which is another book that I know you're going to love. It solves a huge area in your life. And for this reason, I worked hard with a nutritionist that I really love to bring this out to you. 210 recipes that are healthy, delicious, and are cooked in a matter of minutes, giving you the rest of the day to do what is important for you. And if you're vegan, there's a vegan version. If you're not, you can even get both ebooks. This way you'll have a plethora of healthy and delicious meals to choose from for the rest of your life that are cooked in a matter of minutes. And if you're interested in checking it out, you'll also find a link to it down in the description box. And my dear pile number 3, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm wishing you the best of luck. And you will see, and you will remember this reading. Sometimes when I do a reading and I get a certain message, I'm hopeful, but then sometimes it takes time for it to happen. But it always comes into full fruition. And then I remember when I pulled these cards and I saw them. It is happening right now. And so this may happen to you right away. It may take a little bit of time. Who knows? But I can tell you for sure that on the other side are your dreams, and they are going to happen for you. So until it does, don't go through it with pain. Surrender, take it day by day, enjoy it moment to moment. Enjoy and be grateful for the wonderful things that are there already, and take it step by step. And you will see, before you know it, as you take it calmly, you'll take yourself out of the situation smoothly and easy. Remember, as within, so without. And my dear pile number 3, all the best of luck, and I'll catch you in the next reading.